Good morning. Today's Gospel shows us another apparition of the risen Jesus, not in Jerusalem, but in Galilee. In Holy Land, you can visit the exact spot where this scene takes place, called the Primacy of Peter. Jesus had appeared to the apostles a few days earlier in the upper room and told them, "Go to Galilee, and there you will see me." Galilee was the place where many of them met Jesus for the first time. And for Peter, Galilee was the place where he, Peter, learned gradually to trust Jesus. Now the situation Peter experiencing in his heart is somewhat different. Although Jesus has risen, something inside him tells him that things have changed. Peter carries in his conscience the thorn of the triple denial on the night of Holy Thursday. And although Jesus appeared to the apostles and said, "Peace be with you," Peter surely thinks that something has been broken, that the trust Jesus had in him has been shattered. How can he trust me if I deny him 3 times the night of the Holy Thursday? The lesson that Jesus gives Peter today is wonderful. Peter thinks that trust has been broken and that it's impossible to repair it. Jesus shows him that he's not going to rebuild his trust because it's unnecessary. Jesus has never given up. He has never stopped trusting Peter. There is no need to repair what has not been broken, and his trust in Peter was never broken in spite of the 3 denials. To experience trust and love when you know and feel completely unworthy of it is something very beautiful and strong. What about Peter? The dialogue with Jesus is beautiful. After eating, Jesus takes Peter aside. Peter surely thinks that at that moment Jesus is going to nag him and exonerate him from his position as leader of the apostles. From a human point of view, it would have been reasonable if Jesus had taken Peter aside and had asked him to explain his triple denial and to tell him how disappointed he was in him. However, Jesus asked Peter an unexpected question, in which I would like us to note the Greek terms used in the original Gospel of John. "Peter, do you love me? Agapas me?" The verb agapao means to love in the highest possible way of love. That is, a totally pure and disinterested love in which you seek only the good of the other person without expecting anything in return. This is the word Jesus uses to speak of God's love for us. Peter, surprised, is no longer the same proud and arrogant Peter of the Last Supper, who boasted in front of his companions saying that he was above others and that he was capable of loving Jesus to death. But now he is a humble Peter who has experienced his own weakness. This is why he responds, "Yes, Lord, you know that I love you." And the original word for the response of "I love you" in Peter is phileo, which is a lower level of love where I give but expecting something in return. Peter has grasped the level of love that Jesus has asked him and doesn't recognize himself as capable of loving in such a way. "You're asking me if I love you in a very high way, and I answer that I'm not capable." Jesus' answer is to confirm Peter in his mission, "Feed my lambs." A second question follows the same Greek words in both the question and the answer, and Jesus continues to confirm Peter in his mission, "Shepherd my sheep." Finally, a third question is asked, but this question is special because Jesus lowers the level of love in his question. He no longer uses the word agapao to ask Peter, but asks him with the word phileo. By acting in this way, Jesus could be trying to say, "Look, Peter, love me as you can, and that's enough for me. I will take care of the rest." Peter is sad to see that Jesus has lowered the level of love in his question, but he still responds in a very wise way. "Lord, you know everything. You know that I love you." That Peter of the Last Supper was a proud Peter who, with his answer all will betray you, but I won't, wanted to say to Jesus, "You know nothing, and you don't know me, but I know myself and I know more than you." Now, with his answer, he's trying to say, "I don't rely on what I know about myself, but on what you know about me, because I know that you know everything." Jesus reconfirms Peter in his mission, "Feed my sheep." In the face of Peter's triple denial, there is a triple confirmation of Jesus' mission. Jesus wanted to say to him, "Peter, I have never ceased to trust you. My trust in you has never been broken. That is why I continue to renew the mission I have prepared for you." I like to think that when Peter felt such trust on the part of Jesus, he felt a great peace in seeing himself the object of such undeserved love. And in fact, about 30 years after this dialogue, in the city of Rome, the capital of the empire, Peter was able to love much more than he had imagined. He was able to love with the verb agapao. He was able to complete that unfulfilled promise of the Last Supper, "I will give my life for you," on the night of the Holy Thursday. The broken promise received its fulfillment around the year 64 in the private circus of Nero, what is now St. Peter's Square in the Vatican, where the apostle was crucified upside down and executed. God bless you and happy Easter.